What's going on, Garage Gang? Matt from GarageMC here. Guys, this is video 6, day 6 of the video a day build on the ATC350X 1985. Today, we're going to get into the wire harness. And we're going to take parts that look like this and make them look like this. Alright, y'all, so today, man, we gotta tackle the wire harness. I want to strip all the looming off of that, get it all cleaned up, clean up all the connectors, redo the electrical tape, anything else that we could do. A lot of those boots that like hold everything on are all deteriorated and everything. So one reason why I never throw out used stuff, man. Always have what I'm looking for most of the time, if not something that's at least 8 times better than what I'm working with, you know, like the little boot that holds the coil to the frame that needed to be replaced. It was just like gone. It wouldn't even have the holders on it to keep it on the frame. There's a few other things I'll be doing today other than the harness. A lot of stuff that I'm really not going to make a video on, you know, like, but I'll give you an idea of what's going on. This is the little ring that holds the front brake line into the front brake line holder, which is this one here. This goes up on the top triple tray, and then this kind of slots in there. I think you can get a replacement one, but I don't really have the time to order more parts and wait for it. So I also have gray Delrin, so I'm going to turn myself down one of these. I'm also going to, while I'm on the lathe, make the other parts for the rear brake caliper and stuff that you guys seen in the last video on the swing arm. Also going to change the color on these. All the front brake stuff is black and then black chrome. So on the rear, I did the linkage arm in polished aluminum powder, and it looks good. It looks pretty good. But I'm going to strip this back down. I'm also going to cut this brake line holder off there because we're not going to need it anymore. And I'm going to take this bracket, and these are going to go black chrome as well. Also going to do my front reservoir guard off camera. I may or may not run this because I don't know if I'm going to be running the stock reservoir or a CR250 style front master cylinder. And yes, I have a Nissan one. It's not a Chinese repop, but I don't know. I got to make a decision on that. And yeah, so that's all the stuff that'll be going on behind the scenes. Sent a bunch of bolts out, like I told you guys in the last video, over to Moto Blast. Check out Moto Blast if you need any vapor blasting or zinc coating done. And yeah, let's get right into stripping this thing down. We're also going to build the headlight out together. I already did half of it, and I'm like, you know what, man, let me show you guys all the little stuff that's going into this, you know? It's so much stuff, dude. So much stuff. You guys are seeing maybe 40% of what's actually being done to this bike. You know, can't show you everything. This will take 10 years. All right, let's get into it. All right, so I'm deciding to get some of this out of the way. If you guys seen back in video 5, I was talking about using that rubber thing cut down. This is Delrin. Like I said, you can't get the bushing that goes for these anymore. So, you know, it's just some of the little things that I'm throwing in here today, but yeah, that's going to be way better. Now I just got to figure out my length and cut it off, and then I'll put it in the drill press, center it out, and use a drill bit to get the hole in the center there. I think Delrin's going to be a little bit better. We'll be all right with the other one that I showed you in the last video, but you know, just throwing this stuff in here, man. I'm also going to, when I cut this off, make the front brake line clamp that I told you about. So satisfying. Come on. There we go. Yeah, buddy. And there we are, fellas. We have our new brake line clamp. I just got to clean it up a little bit, and she's good to go. All right, guys. I know day 6 is going to be just riveting content, but I'll do the headlight with you guys. We'll disassemble that, and I'll show you, like, it's pretty self-explanatory, man. I don't even, you know, this today isn't even video worthy, but this is like, it's what's going on for the day. It has to be done. So I'm going to take the cotter pin out, This little plate comes off, and then this outer rubber here, this comes off of the headlight. I'm going to disassemble that. I'm going to start soaking the rubber in Armor All, get that nice and clean. And I'm also going to de-loom the whole harness here, and I'm going to throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, which is perfectly fine. We're not going to be running it for at least a week, so you know, it'll be nice and dry by then. No big deal. I'll blow it out, use electronic cleaner, everything. So let me strip this thing down, and then we will formulate a plan on to how I'm going to rewrap this thing. So I guess it's worthy enough to say in the video, guys. It's easier to find the end of where the electrical tape is and unwind it. Don't take a razor blade and cut down it. I mean, you can if you got a really good feel for it. Of course, my phone's going to ring right now. Let's see who it is. Nobody I want to talk to. Just got a package delivery. One of two more packages that are coming. Yeah. You're looking at a $200 Ziploc bag, give or take 50 bucks. So I don't know what's in there yet. I got to go over my list and double check it. But when you peel the electrical tape off, Honda put these little split like tubes around the wires. I'm going to save all these and obviously put them back on and then re-electrical tape. But as I am pulling this apart, I mean, it's really clean, dude, for 40 years old, and they're not crunchy or anything. You don't want to waste your time doing a wire harness if it's all crunchy and stuff like that. But you know, everything seems to be in very nice shape. All the connectors are really good. They're actually really clean. This boot usually gets chewed up. This one's a little crunchy, but that's okay. It's not crunchy here, it's crunchy up here, but that covers up where the stator plugs into and everything, so that'll be just fine. I'll clean that up, obviously, and yeah, just wanted to throw that in there. When you guys start pulling a bunch of them apart, go ahead and throw a little piece of tape around the end of it. This way you don't end up looming together like two wires that weren't supposed to be. And anywhere that the splits are where they tee off like this, either go ahead and leave the tape that's on it since it's going to get covered anyway, or you know, put yourself some new tape on it. Let me show you guys what I do when I order from Rocky Mountain. So when you go on Rocky Mountain ATV, great I literally ordered this package 2 days ago, and I got the standard shipping on it, and it's already here. So this line here is a separate order. So this is the first order that we went to. Oh, check it out, West Michigan Motorsports. What's up, Nick? Check out West Michigan Motorsports YouTube channel, guys, if you have not yet and you like trike content. I believe Preston's wife calls it meathead content. So if you're being honest, you're probably a meathead too, you know, if you like power sports and stuff. But anyway, all right, so when I go on there, you know, I'll write what I'm getting, how many, and the part number. This way, when it comes in, because when this stuff comes in from Rocky Mountain, it just comes in a Ziploc bag, like you've seen, obviously in a box too, but there's no sheet of what you ordered. There's none of that stuff. So if you don't write down the part number and how many, and I just write down what it is so I know where that goes on the bike, and then when I get it, I'll separate it all. So like for instance, 10,000, where are we at here? 94050-10000. So that's these. I ordered 8 of them. So we got 8 here. Then you can double check and make sure you got everything you ordered. And then I'll take a piece of blue tape, write what they go to on the bike, and wrap them up. This way, everything's already ready to go and labeled, and it's already organized, and you're going to save yourself a ton of time later going, shit, does this go to this or does it go to here? And then you're going back and forth looking at diagrams and yada yada yada. I mean, especially if you don't build the same bike every single time, you know what I mean, like some people do on YouTube, which is cool. But you know, anyway, just figured I'd give you guys a little tip on what I do when I order parts, because when you order, you know, 70, 80 different pieces of bolts and nuts and hardware and rubbers and grommets and spacers and all kinds of shit, it gets, you know, you end up getting lost. All right, guys, I think I'm happy enough with where this is at. I cleaned up all the connectors, and You know, so you guys know, I think I am kind of losing my mind. I sat here with a Q-tip. These were like, you couldn't even see through them. I sat here with a Q-tip and literally cleaned every one of these out, inside and out. Just, I mean, like, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? Other things we got going on. The coil. So this gets a little boot on it. The one that was on it was trashed, but this goes back to why I do not throw out any parts from a tear down. When I tear down and part out a bike, I keep pretty much everything, you know? Anything that doesn't sell, you just never know what you might need. So this coil's all cleaned up, armor-alled. This is the one that we know worked on the Will It Run video, so this is the one that we are going to go with. So the spark plug boot, a little chewed up, man, a little chewed up. So part number on there and everything. So happen to have another one, same number, like brand new. That's how much should be on there. You can see how much of that's just chewed off and gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little dielectric grease in here. I'm gonna clip off maybe about that much of that, and then we'll put this new one on. And then I'm gonna go ahead and re-tape this up off camera. You guys aren't gonna want to see me go around this thing 700 times with a roll of electrical tape, right? So, yeah, get that done. We'll pick back up, and then we'll build this headlight out together. All right, so we're down to putting our headlight together. Harness is, you know, completely done. It's all wired up, re-taped off. Everything's good to go. New plug on there, dielectric, like I said. This boot cleaned up pretty damn good. So we can go ahead and check the wire harness off the list. So as far as the headlight goes, this is a little stuff that I don't account for, man. I already plugged it off with a silicone plug. You can see the yellow in there. And then just taped it off as well, because where the boot for the bulb goes on, it's a zinc coat there, but the rest of the light is black. So you guys can see some of that stuff's all like rusty. This was bent too. I grabbed it with a pair of toothless channel locks. They're meant for, you know, any of you guys have watched channel for a while, you guys know I'm a plumber, so I have quite the assortment of channel locks and pipe wrenches and stuff, but ones without teeth are made for like brass fittings and everything like that. This way it doesn't mar up the fittings. I use those a lot. Obviously you don't get as much grip, but they don't damage anything. So I took that little clip off the top. Got our new cotter pin already pulled out for that. This I'm just gonna clean up. I'm not gonna worry about powder coating it. You know, I don't wanna, I think I've already done enough crazy shit, but they cleaned up pretty good. I'm gonna wipe it down real good. The black anodizing on it is still, or black zinc on it, or olive zinc, or whatever it's called, is still pretty clean. So this is what I didn't account for. I got to vapor blast the back of this, then dry it off, then tape off the lens, and then repaint the back of this, because you guys can see it's a little, I don't know how something on the back of the headlight gets this damaged, but you know, I guess that just goes to show you what type of a hunk of shit we started with, you know. But it'll be a lot cleaner once everything's taken care of like that. I had already done the, where is it, the other spring right here. There's a little plastic clip that holds the light on the back. This is where you tighten it and you adjust like the level of your beam on the trail. So that's something obviously we can't figure out till the bike is on and the lights are on, you know. Tail light, I got a reproduction tail light out of Canada. It was the last one available. One thing I noticed though, it does not have the gasket between the taillight housing and the lens. So other than that, it's identical, other than it doesn't say Stanley on the lens. I have like 4 or 5 other ones, but you know, you could tell they're old, so I don't really care if somebody doesn't see that it says Stanley on it, you know what I mean? Really don't care. It's kind of like my typical, if you're that close to my shit, we got something else to talk about other than what you think about my parts on the bike. Anyway, probably doesn't make sense since I show all my stuff on YouTube, but anyway. All right, we got our LED bulbs for these, and there's also, these are the sockets that go to the bulbs. You can see these are just disgusting. So there is 2 of these. I had already taken this one, the other one, and now it looks like this. Nice and new. Everything's all clean. Connectors were cleaned. I'll put dielectric grease on those too, this way they're ready to plug in when the time comes. But, you know, looks a hell of a lot better than that. Can't do all this other stuff to this bike and then leave shit looking like shit. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna vapor blast that and I'll paint it. I'm gonna let it dry overnight and then we'll finish this video up tomorrow morning as well. I'm gonna take the rest of the day off, man. I could use a break. I could use a break. So, and we're running out of stuff to do. Gotta wait for the frame to come back. So this might be one of the last daily videos you see till we get the frame back. Just how shit goes. All right, guys, and then there were two. So basically all I did was I took off the old sheathing, and you know what's crazy, man? I'm sorry, I didn't know if you could see that. I took off the old sheathing, cleaned everything. I slid the boot, pulled the socket out of this, slid this boot down, pulled it out of the wiring, cleaned all the wires, and then I put the rubber in the vapor blaster, cleaned it up. I didn't armor all this one yet, kind of like this one is. Not really that big of a difference, but I put electrical tape in 3 spots to keep the wires nice and even. They're like a triangle the whole way, so they're not like crisscrossed over each other. And then a piece of 1/4-inch shrink tube, and then once that was shrunk down, another piece just to seal the end and keep it like that, and then a piece of 3/8 shrink tube over the rubber boot just to seal it and keep anything out of the elements. What's crazy is the electrical tape that was on this thing, like from 1985, is still sticky and pliable. You know, say what you want, Japanese really got their shit correct with stuff like this. Here's the other headlight housing, or headlight I should say, not housing. Go ahead and untape this, get my little silicone plug out of here, and unmask it, obviously. Yeah, we could do this later, but whatever. Get this light installed and call this video done too. So I was thinking this was going to be the last video until I get the frame back, guys. I'm a little, not me being behind schedule, but if you guys noticed in the other videos, which if for some reason you haven't seen the first 5 videos that I've been posting, one every single day, go back and watch them, man. The powder coater texted me. There's a little bit of rot in the frames that I had to get taken care of. So one more video tomorrow will be the front brake caliper. I'm going to rebuild that and powder coat it with you guys. So this rubber goes back on. You'll notice there's 2 different little tabs on here. This tab goes underneath the plate where the bolts go, just like that there. And we'll just get this wrapped around the light. There's really no trick to it. Just stretch it on there, being careful not to rip it. This rubber is 40 years old. My phone keeps blowing up, but it's okay. It's all right. We got some friends texting. So after this goes on, you can see this just goes in here. These tabs were all bent, and this one's actually slightly bent too. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's up a little bit. Let me straighten that out because I don't want the headlight to be in the housing crooked. So let me do that and we'll pick right back up. All right, so I got that straightened out. Basically just put this in the vise and then just clamp down on it, and it, you know, straightened it out good enough for me. So this gets held in with nothing more than a cotter pin, and it goes in like this here. It doesn't go in like this. It goes in like this. And let's see here. The other one we have going in from the right to the left. So we'll do the same here. Since both headlights, if you were to get them new, they would be the same part number anyway. It wouldn't be like a left and a right. Wouldn't really matter. And as far as the cotter pin, it just had one bent slightly like that there. So there's that. Now we can go ahead and put this in the bezel. So factory would look just like this, except this black plastic piece wouldn't be here. These would be injection molded factory. These are like vacuum formed from Meyer, so they don't get that real crisp thing with the embossments. Like there should be another little embossment here to hold to take another screw to hold the wire holder. There's like a little, it had one screw in it and it had like the black rubber on it, and you could wrap it around the wires. I got an idea for that. I'll show you guys what these are in a second. But this just goes in. I think we need to put our, we can put that in after. Sorry guys, brain's a little fried. 6 days of just nothing but straight working. Just insane. You're like, oh, that's not bad. I work every day. Yeah, I'm filming it and editing it and everything every day. It's a little different. It's a little different. Just saying. So, that's what that's going to look like there. Just replace your screws. Get those in there and lined up. There is two of them. I don't know if you guys can see too good, but there you go. Now you don't want to, you just want to just seat these down. You don't want to, when you're doing the Meyer headlight bezel, or shit, even for the factory one, you don't want to go cranking these home. Once they get bottomed out, maybe give it like a little 1/16 of a turn and call it good, because you know, the steel screw and the plastic bar in here, or on the OEM one, the steel will win and you will strip it out. You know, if it's an OEM one, it'd be a little bit more upsetting than stripping out a Meyer headlight bezel, because you can get these any day of the week. OEM one though, yeah, I mean, you can find it, but they are friggin' expensive. And this thing here, this is, like I said, your adjustment to set your pitch of your beam, like on the in the trail or anywhere. The screw has a little plastic washer on there that stays on the screw. The screw will go in from the front, and then you put your spring on the screw. Headlight can tilt like that, because that top piece is like a pivot. Now this thing, I'm assuming the flat side goes down. This is so you don't have to hold back on the nut or anything. It gets encapsulated in this little thing here, so it's held back for you. So your headlight adjustment, you could do with nothing more than a Phillips head screwdriver. A JIS screwdriver. I'm sorry, not a Phillips head. It's a JIS. There is a difference. There is a difference. So you'll see that holds it. JIS screwdriver. You can also get JIS, which stands for Japanese Industrial Standard Screwdrivers, from 223cycles.net. He supplies those as well. And you just go ahead and crank this puppy all the way to where you want it, which will be your preference. I'm just going to make it match the other side for now until I start the bike up and set my beam angle on the bike, which would be nice. You could just, like I said, just do it with your JIS while it's on the bike. You don't need to disassemble nothing. You just tighten this or loosen it. Tighten it, it will pick the beam up. Loosen it, it will put the beam down. At least that's how it looks like it works to me. So I know you guys all know how to put friggin' headlight bulbs in, right? Well, there's a little, it's got a little nipple on it right there. You guys can see that little raised portion. That obviously goes into the indent that it matches with. Just like so. Grab our other one. And I went with LEDs on this, not regular halogen bulbs. So I'd like to start getting some more night riding in. So, alright, these now. Let's go ahead and pop this on out like that. And this should only go in one way. You'll notice it's like these two are closer, so this is the top of it, this being the top. They just go in on an angle, and then you depress it like that, and then make sure you're in everywhere. There you go, just like that. And then you got to stretch the boot back around. I don't even know if you guys are in the friggin' shot. But just like that, man. There's that. So I'll put the other one on, and then I will show you guys the different. Okay, I'll show you right now. So you can see the difference between injection molded. You get these real nice crisp lines and everything, and then you have, you know, what do they call this? I don't know what the, Preston, if you're watching, I know you know what the name of this is. It's like molded, like heat molded. They basically have a flat piece of plastic. It gets stretched, they heat it, and then there's the reverse mold of this that it comes down and it vacuum seals onto the reverse mold, and then when it cools off they pull it off and trim whatever they got to trim and put holes, which is another thing I got to show you guys in this thing. You're supposed to get those little headlight straps that hold this to the fork tubes. When you go to the Meyer, you guys can see the difference here. See what the difference looks like there. The original one would have the rubber would you know, fit the grommet into the hole, and then there's a little plastic pin that you push through and it separates and opens in here. Well, you don't have that on the Meyer. I, however, did save my little plastic pins. I'm not going to do that with you guys on camera. It's just, they're just the straps. So if you're into trikes, I'm assuming since you're watching this, you already know what I'm talking about. But here's where the wire holder would go factory. So you don't get that with the Meyer. You see, it's not there. So this is the wire holder. Just got a hole in it right here, and this would screw to that, and that's what holds the excess wire. I got these on Amazon. These are, what are they called? Little Velcro, one wrap thin ties. So you know, you get like 17,000 of them for like $1. They come in a nice roll like this. So this ain't gonna be OEM, obviously, but at least I could still coil my wires up and have them nice and even. One side's Velcro, the other side's like the nice felt thing. So if you guys wanted to use these like on your frame, this wouldn't scratch your powder coat because it'll be nice and soft on the inside. If you use it, you know, this way. If you flip it the other way around, obviously you'd have the, you know, scratchy Velcro stuff on there, but that's what I use for what I'm going to use in this case anyway. So, all right, let me put the rest of this together real quick, and then we will end this video, and then I can start making day 7, which is this front brake caliper. And this will be the last video of the daily uploads until we get the frame back. Then we can get that thing into a roller. So EBC red stuff pads and a full Japanese rebuild kit. Quite a few pieces in there, but you know, it is what it is. So that'll be the next video. So one last thing before we end this video, guys. This is what the clamps should look like. You see that little flathead looking thing? That is a plastic little pin that goes in. So when these, you guys can see what the straps look like. So they're like a grommet style. These get put in, and the pin basically just keeps it from this thing compressing and then being able to pull back out. That's all the pin does. It's like a locking pin. So when you get the Meyer headlight bezel, instead of using the pins, they give you these to stick through the rubber strap, just like that. And then you get a washer and a lock nut on the back. So what I'm gonna do, because I want to have the factory looking pin in there, which when you take these out of your factory headlights, unless you're being super careful, you're not gonna be able to save these because they're super tight. They're like a one-time use type of deal. So what I did, I managed to get them out. I am going to use the washer from the Meyer kit, and that's basically going to be like this outer piece of the bezel, you know, so that's what that's going to act as. So, you know, that other piece there is not going to be needed in this case because these rubbers cannot come out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a razor blade, and I know I might lose a couple of you guys here because I'm kind of just getting a little over the top with shit, you know. I should just put the damn bolts in it and call it a day. But I'm going to separate them with the blade like that, and then I'm going to take my plastic welder, which is nice and hot because I went inside for the past 20 minutes and forgot that I left it plugged in. And I'm gonna melt each side down just a little bit to where I could probably still take them back out again if need be. Yep, I'm gonna do that too, because I have all the time in the world to get this done. So, you know, I just have all the extra time I possibly need to get this done. I'll be done way ahead of time, even though the frame's not back yet. And today is July 20th. Today is Saturday, which is the day you guys are gonna see this video. And I still have to go in and edit this whole video. But, you know, it's a good thing that only takes like 10 minutes, and it's not like I have to watch the video 15 times myself. Here we are without the pin in. I'll show you guys what I'm doing here. Yes, I arm rolled these pins too. Oh man, why? Alright, so the pin is shoved through, and then the washer, maybe I'm OCD, but you know, one side is like an unfinished sharp side, the other side is nice and shiny and smooth. I'm gonna put the washer on, and I got these pins almost to where they still kind of have a clip to them, but I don't plan on these ever coming off or even owning this bike next time it needs to be done. But here we go, without touching the rest of the headlight housing. Just go ahead and cinch that puppy down just like that, man. So there it is, guys. One complete built out headlight bezel with the factory looking pins on it. Alright, let me set you guys up a thumbnail, and that will be day, oh Jesus, what is it? Day 6 video. Electronics, a headlight bezel, wire harness, all that stuff is now checked off the list. We just need our damn frame back. Today is Saturday, July 20th. It's about, I don't know, 3:45 in the afternoon. I'm hoping to get the frame back this week. Like, even if it comes Friday, I'm okay with that. And I got one more order of OEM bolts and all kinds of shit from Rocky Mountain ATV. Guys, check out RockyMountainATV.com, man. Any orders over $75 ship for free. I am not sponsored by them. They probably don't even know who the hell I am. Just sharing who I use, man. Shipping's fast. Like, you know, you've seen the stuff I opened, I think it was earlier in this video. Yeah. Ordered that Tuesday. It was here. No, I'm sorry. I ordered it Wednesday. I got here Friday. Today's Saturday. So, anyway, thank you guys for joining me in this video. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to skip Sunday, guys. I kind of need a day to myself, man. Plus, on top of that, I still need to get that thing ready, my backup plan, and I need to film a riding video of that. So that will be the last video on that, the spray paint restoration on 200X. It's pretty much done. I just got to bolt the rest of the stuff on it, and the gas tank, I just have it in white primer right now. I don't know if I'm going to have time, because I still need to pull the dent on the 350X tank on the right side of the tank where they notoriously get dented, and the seat cover. Sweet. That seat cover, I should take it to an upholsterer, but I don't think they're going to get it done in time. That's a tight stretch fit, but it is the proper seat cover with a brand new seat foam from motoseat.com. Waited months for that seat foam too, by the way. But anyway, yes, I will see you guys Monday with another video, whether it be the 200X or doing the front caliper for the 350X. So, thank you guys for joining me in the garage today. I'm finally done talking, yes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!